If you own a parrot, you know exactly what this sounds like. The moment you leave the room, your parrot starts screaming, loud, nonstop. The second you come back, complete silence, and your parrot looks at you like nothing happened. Most owners think their bird is just being dramatic, or needy, or badly behaved. But here's the surprising truth. Your parrot is not misbehaving. It's communicating. And once you understand what it's actually saying, you'll never hear that scream the same way again. Because the reason parrots scream when you leave the room goes all the way back to the wild. And it's more fascinating than most owners ever realize. In the wild, parrots never live alone. They live in flocks, and the flock stays connected through sound. When one parrot flies out of sight, it calls out, and the others call back. This is called a contact call. It's not noise for the sake of noise. It's a signal that says, "I'm here. Where are you?" And when the flock answers, the parrot feels safe. Now think about what happens in your home. You are your parrot's flock. You are the only flock member it has. So when you leave the room, your parrot does exactly what it would do in the jungle. It calls out. It's asking, "Where did you go? Are you still there?" If you answer, even with just your voice from the other room, your parrot will often settle down immediately because the contact has been made. The flock is still connected. The second reason parrots scream when you leave is separation anxiety. Parrots are extremely social animals. In the wild, they're almost never alone. Being separated from the flock is not just uncomfortable for them. It can feel genuinely frightening. And when your parrot bonds deeply with you, you become its whole world. The problem is that parrots don't understand the concept of, "I'll be back in 5 minutes." When you leave the room, from your parrot's perspective, you have simply disappeared, and it has no way of knowing if you will return. So it is the only thing it knows how to do. It screams, and the moment you walk back through that door, the anxiety disappears instantly. That's why many owners are confused. The bird seemed absolutely terrified one moment, and perfectly happy the next. It's not dramatic behavior. It's a deeply emotional response. The second reason parrots scream when you leave. Here's the part that surprises most owners. You may have accidentally taught your parrot to scream. Here's how it works. Your parrot screams when you leave. You come rushing back to check on it. Your parrot stops screaming. Everything seems fine, but from your parrot's perspective, something very important just happened. It learned that screaming brings you back. Every single time you rushed back in response to the scream, you reinforced that behavior. You accidentally told your parrot, "Screaming works." Parrots are remarkably fast learners, and once they figure out that a certain behavior gets a reliable result, they will repeat it every time. This doesn't mean your parrot is being manipulative. It simply means it learned what gets attention, and attention is exactly what it wants. The fourth reason parrots scream is simply boredom. Parrots are among the most intelligent animals on the planet. In the wild, they spend their entire day foraging, exploring, solving problems, and socializing. Their brains are constantly active, but in a home environment, without enough stimulation, that intelligence has nowhere to go. And a bored parrot is a loud parrot. Screaming becomes a way to release the built-up mental and physical energy. It's not asking for anything specific. It's just noise from a mind that isn't being used. The good news is that this type of screaming is one of the easiest to solve. When you enrich your parrot's environment with foraging toys, puzzles, and regular mental engagement, the frequency of screaming drops significantly because a parrot with something interesting to do doesn't need to scream. So what can you actually do about the screaming? The first and most effective step is to answer the contact call. You don't need to go back into the room. Simply call back from wherever you are. Your voice is enough to let your parrot know, I'm here. You're safe. Second, start practicing short absences. Leave the room for just a few seconds, then return calmly before the screaming starts. Gradually extend the time. This teaches your parrot that you always come back, and that patience is rewarded. Third, never return to the room in direct response to screaming. Wait for even a brief moment of quiet, and then return. This breaks the reinforcement loop. Your parrot learns that quiet, not screaming, is what brings you back. And fourth, enrich your parrot's environment. Foraging toys, puzzles, rotating perches, and regular interaction all reduce boredom-driven screaming significantly. A mentally occupied parrot is a quieter parrot. Now let's talk about what you should never do. The most common mistake owners make is yelling back at the screaming parrot. This doesn't calm your bird. To your parrot, it sounds like you're joining in the screaming, which makes the noise worse, not better. The second mistake is punishing the bird. Covering the cage, shaking it, or scolding loudly all increase your parrot's stress and anxiety. And a more stressed parrot screams more, not less. The third mistake is completely ignoring your parrot for long periods. A parrot that screams because of anxiety or loneliness cannot simply be ignored into silence. That approach only deepens the problem. What works is not punishment. What works is understanding. Answer the contact call. Build trust through consistent routines. And reward quiet behavior, not screaming. Patience and understanding always work better than frustration. So what should you remember? Your parrot isn't screaming to annoy you. It's calling out to its flock. It's feeling anxious without you. It may have learned that screaming brings you back, or it simply needs more mental stimulation. Every scream has a reason, and every reason has a solution. By answering the contact call, building trust through consistent routines, enriching your parrot's environment, and never responding with frustration, you can transform a screaming bird into a calmer, happier companion. Your parrot isn't being difficult. It's trying to communicate. And when you understand that, every interaction becomes easier, quieter, and more enjoyable for both of you.